Hello, welcome to this Control Web Panel tutorial. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the new Tomcat Manager module in the CWP admin panel. To access the Tomcat Manager, go to the left-hand admin bar and select Web Server Settings to open the submenu. Scroll down and select Tomcat Manager. And this opens the Tomcat module. And Tomcat provides a pure Java HTTP web server environment in which Java code can run. When you're first getting started, you'll have to install Tomcat. So to do so, select your version from the drop-down, either version 8, 9, or 10 at this point. For this example, we'll select version 9, and install. And we get a confirmation window asking us to continue. And it only takes a couple of seconds for it to install. And we get the success dialog that the Tomcat server was successfully installed. So now we see a series of tabs across the top, starting with the dashboard. Here we can see our Tomcat version and the port that it's running on. We also have options to restart the server or stop the server. And Tomcat won't run without Java, so if you don't already have it installed, the Tomcat installer will automatically install Java for you. And here we can see the version and runtime environment. If we choose to, we can uninstall Tomcat by selecting here and then confirming the dialog. If we want to confirm the installation of Tomcat on our web browser, we can check that using our IP address with the port number 8080. But we receive an error that the connection is timed out. And the reason for this is probably because of the firewall. So let's go back to our dashboard and let's access the CWP firewall. And here we can see that we don't have port 8080 open yet. So let's go ahead and click Configure to open a port. And we'll just scroll down until we find our ports open. And then here we can just add 8080 to our ports list. And we'll do both incoming and outgoing. Then scroll to the bottom and save. Now we'll go back to our dashboard, select Firewall, and restart the firewall. Now we can go back to our browser tab with our IP and port number and try again. And there we go. We can see that if we're seeing this, we've successfully installed Tomcat. So now we know Tomcat is running and accessible. So let's go back to our admin panel here. Let's go back to Web Server Settings, back to Tomcat Manager. And let's take a look at the next tab in the Tomcat Manager, in this case, Applications. And here are the 5 default applications included with Tomcat by Apache. We've got the Servlet and JSP examples, the Tomcat documentation, the Tomcat Host Manager application, the Tomcat Manager application, and Welcome to Tomcat. And we can test all of these in our browser just by selecting the link here. We can see here's the Apache Tomcat examples. Here is the Tomcat documentation. Here is the Tomcat Host Manager application. Here's the Tomcat Manager application. And here's the Welcome to Tomcat page, which we've already seen. For each of these apps, the path is identified here in the table, as well as the user. Now, since this is a demo, all the users are shown here as root, but your table will show a Tomcat user or a user from CWP. The status and number of sessions. Under the Actions column, we can edit the application, stop the application, reload the application, expire sessions. For example, you might want to expire a session after 30 minutes of inactivity, or delete the application. If you want to add extra applications, you can click plus deploy application here, and then select your user, select a domain or subdomain, enter the context path. If you leave this blank, this will be root. Otherwise, you can input a directory path, input the deployment type, either a WAR file, an XML configuration file URL, or a WAR or directory URL. If you're uploading a file, you can browse your system for the file, or if you're inputting a URL, you can select the URL field, navigate to the path that you want to use, and then choose that path. And when you're done, save your changes. As you fill your Tomcat applications list, you can expand the table to show more entries and search for specific entries if there's something that you're looking for. The next tab here is for Monitor. And this is where you can monitor all the various information about your Tomcat server. So here we see the Tomcat version, the JVM version, the OS and OS version. And we can open this up to show more information, including the JVM vendor, the OS architecture, the host name, and IP address. Under the tables, we have information for the JVM monitor. And this shows the memory pool, type, initial, total, maximum, and used memory. Below we see our free memory, total memory, and maximum memory indicated. And then for the HTTP NIO 8080 monitor, it shows the stage, time, B sent, B received, client forwarded, client actual, the vhost, and request. And below that, we have the maximum threads, current thread count, current thread busy, and keep to live sockets count. Also the max processing time, request count, error count, bytes received, and bytes sent. Under the Configurations tab, we can set Tomcat to be available for all users or selected users. So let's checkmark the server availability in the user panel. And then here we can choose available for all accounts or per account. And if this is per account, then we can select the users that will have access to the Tomcat server. And when we're done, save the user panel options. Below here, we can also edit our configuration files. So just select a file to edit from the drop-down menu. So for example, let's edit the context, XML. And this opens a text editor. And here we can make any changes we want to the file itself. And when we're done, save the file or save file and reload server in one click. In this case, we'll just cancel. And that's how to use Apache's Tomcat Manager module in CWP Admin Panel. For more information, please visit the following link. We hope you found this tutorial useful. Thanks very much for watching.